Hello everyone and welcome to the joinDOTA League Season 2, Europe Region Division 1. This is going to be X-Game.kz, formerly known as Next.kz, versus Goomba Gaming in a 2-game series in their round-robin groups. My name is Roxas, and with me today, as always, is my classic buddy, Don Horatio. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm excited to catch this game. Haven't really seen much of Goomba Gaming so far, but they've been doing pretty well in the league so far, sitting at 6-2, which is pretty damn good considering some of the competition they're up against, so really excited to see them in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and draft already flying by pretty quickly. Let's get by this. Goomba, they went ahead and banned out the Batrider and the Potom, and X-Game, they banned out Invoker and Direside Lycan. With first pick, Goomba goes ahead and picks up the Centaur, and X-Game, they know their strategy. They very quickly picked up the Wisp and the Witch Doctor, and I believe it was them that actually was running this. It's basically a heal strategy. So you have the Voodoo Restoration from the Witch Doctor and the Tether from the Wisp. And you just try to be super aggressive and out-regen any of your lane opponents and then transition to a really aggressive mid-game that obviously Wisp and Witch Doctor set up for very easily with Death Ward, Relocate, and Paralyzing Cask.
Yeah, it comes down to it's an execution-based lineup. You really need to actually nail the fights you get involved with. With this, the Relocate ganks need to be spot on. And well, Goomba, they go for a Luna on top of their Centaur, so it's a hero that needs some space, along with a hero that creates some space, so decent little combination there. And Luna, this hero's been falling off a bit lately. Like, the nerfs weren't that significant, but we've just seen this hero falter a lot in recent competition.
Yeah, the reason she's kind of faltered off is she's very strong in almost every stage of the game, except when she has to react to a laning circumstance. So, for example, if you're on an aggressive tri-lane with Luna, it's fine. But if you're running a defensive tri-lane with the Luna, she's not really that strong, which seems odd, but just usually the way that you build your draft around her doesn't really set her up for success. She's very squishy. She really just only has her move speed going for her, but she doesn't really have any escape. She doesn't have any stuns, just besides a mini stun for Lucent Beam. So she's pretty easy to harass down in lane, and her range is actually, yeah, she's a ranger, but her attack range is actually quite bad. So it's pretty easy to harass her down, especially if you have two range supports that hit quite hard, such as Wisp and the Witch Doctor. Goomba, they go ahead and ban out Tiny and CK, fearing those combinations, and AA Dazzle, two popular combinations, both with Centaur and Luna being banned out, so all very standard so far.
Yep, and most popular Wisp combination left is probably the Morphling, at least in this patch, and it's certainly something that's worked for a lot of teams so far, so we'll have to see if X-Game wants to go for that. And they're going to take a Viper first, so still leaving it open as far as what they want to pair with that Wisp. It doesn't need to be... Well, casual Wisp isn't as good as it was like a year ago, obviously, but you still can kind of just put anything with it, but it's generally much less effective without something that really benefits from the Wisp. Yeah,
but I think that ultimately, if you are forced to casual... either the other team has to waste all their bans on... Oh, Jesus, Wombo combo. But either they have to focus all their bans on banning the Wisp partner, and then they leave your 4 other heroes up in the pool. So you have 4 other very strong heroes, and Wisp can kind of be the weak link in the team, but it's okay because the rest of your draft is so open. And the alternative to that is I think that you can't really ban every Wisp partner. You can't ban Tiny, Sven, CK, even Gyrocopter, Morphling. You can't ban them all. So I think you're pretty much guaranteed to get one.
Dire team pick.
Alright, interesting.
I think
so. They're going to probably go some sort of aggressive with this, because Shadow Fiend, you really want him to have a solo lane, and Viper, I don't know, it's interesting. I want to say they do decide to lane these heroes. Typically they're both mid heroes, so they'll go for something a bit more unconventional than standard lineup with these 2 heroes. We'll have to see where they want to play these guys.
Yeah, well, Viper also, we've seen him work very well in aggressive circumstances, just because the damage coming out from... What is it called? Poison Attack. I was going to say Poison Touch, but that's Venomancer's. But yeah, coming out from Poison Attack is actually pretty significant. He'll have the mana for it as well, and it's pretty hard to corrode him with Corrosive Skin.
So yeah, and the Tidehunter pick's pretty smart too. It's one of those heroes that's really, really good reactionary against a Wisp. Relocating in to start a team fight, they pop in, you just ravage them, and you know where they're going to be, so you just put yourself in the right spot and let it loose. But Goomba also grabs the Rubik, so kind of a, well... They already have both their supports, so it's not really a deny pick in a way, but I mean, Rubik's still strong. Aren't the best spells on the field to steal, other than maybe getting Viper Strike or something like that? Nothing too tremendous, but I mean, still a strong hero without some sort of mega ultimate to grab.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is definitely going to be I mean, I guess if X Game really wanted to run like a core Witch Doctor and they picked up a Rubik, it would be kind of a pain if you stole any of Luna, Centaur, or Tidehunter's ultimates, but regardless, like you said, still a strong hero. He's kind of weak in the laning phase just because of the high mana cost of his spells, but if you get past that, he's pretty freaking good. So they've already moved through most of the draft here, not a whole lot of bonus time being used, just on this last ban. And they have to decide, is this a core Tidehunter or is this a support?
And with the way they have it so far, it looks like a support, because typically you throw them offlane, but that's where Centaur obviously goes more often than not. But neither of them would do well mid against either a Viper or a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend would be a little bit easier, obviously, but Viper would just completely poop on either of those heroes if he does go mid. So I don't know. We'll have to see how they actually want to do this. I'm thinking it's support, and that brings up a bit of a problem, because Rubik also wants his levels pretty badly. You want level 6, you want to max Fade Bolt pretty quick, and Tidehunter obviously needs his level 6 to have that big impact that you want from your Tide.
Yeah, I think that they would probably just throw the Centaur mid against the Shadow Fiend and probably throw the Tidehunter in the offlane. On the dire side, it's a lot easier now that Anchor Smash can work on the Ancients. If you ever have trouble in the lane, you go and just farm that Ancient camp, and then when the creep wave comes by the tower, you go ahead and you get yourself some experience and then go back to it. So I think that running the core Tidehunter is going to be great. I think support Tidehunter is just really difficult to deal with.
He needs levels, and it's against a Viper lineup that might go aggressive. It's going to be hard to guarantee those levels on that hero. So we'll have to see how X Game actually wants to lane this. Their last hero will probably help iron out the lanes a little bit, but still pretty damn flexible as to how they could do this. Because it could be a safe lane Shadow Fiend, or they could pick up another mid hero instead. They could pick up another hero to run with Iowa Witch Doctor somewhere. Their lines are not decided.
I think Clockwork seems pretty strong here because you have 4 ranged heroes, and if you isolate anyone in Cogs, especially Centaur or Tidehunter, even Luna herself, it's going to be really difficult for them to stay alive. And not to mention, they really lack initiation besides the relocate, and we see Clockwork a lot of the time. Oh, wow, there we go. Hell yeah.
Fucking Nostradamus. But yeah, no, helping disrupt this team fight, if they can force the Tidehunter to pop Ravage prematurely with a hook initiation, or throwing Cogs in the way is one of the few things that can get in the way of a Centaur Stampede having the effect you would like it to. Cogs they just screw everything up, and with 2 melee heroes that want to get in the middle of things and set the tone of the fight, he's pretty damn good. And we see a Troll Warlord as the last pick, a hero we don't see a whole lot of, but Goomba will grab it last year.
Yep, he's actually seen his stock rising a bit. Exist played this hero yesterday against an Invoker and just absolutely wrecked him, forced that 12-minute GG. So, gonna be getting it for him again. X Game did not really see that coming, I guess, but it is going to be a support Tidehunter. Definitely gonna put a lot of emphasis on the laning phase. So, let's go ahead and introduce the teams here. On the side of X Game, we're gonna have Wadafaka playing on the Nevermore. Equal going to be on the Witch Doctor as a support. Mantis will be playing the Farming Viper. On the Wisp, we are going to have Reeves going for the Bottle Rush. And on the Clockwork, we're going to have Stallcat.
Yep. And on the side of Goomba Gaming, on the support Tidehunter, we have Nino. Luna going to be played by Sweater Weather. Centaur going to be taken up by Chill into the offlane. Rubik, as my game has FPS lag, that's fine. Now I can read names again. We have Nier on the Rubik. And last but not least, Exist on that Troll Warlord, like you mentioned. So, this shaping up to be... I'm trying to see, like, this Troll's just running around, just doing his little dance so far. But it looks like he'll head mid eventually, so up against... It looks like the Shadow Fiend mid, so... We'll see how he handles that lane. It's if he gets a good start against that Shadow Fiend, it could work out. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a matchup we don't see a whole lot of, obviously, so...
It's one of those matchups where, like, if Shadow Fiend goes, like, raise level 1 and gets some good CS, gets his bottle up, then all of a sudden he gets Necromastery. And he won Necromastery level 1, so it really just depends on the first last hits. The range harassment from Berserker's Rage as well as Whirling Axes actually gets really, really difficult for Shadow Fiend just because he's really not very tanky. He can't really deal with that. And Exist, the way we saw him playing this the other day, he was incredibly aggressive, always up in your face, getting that missed chance as well and taking advantage of it, kind of the same way a Tinker player would with the Whirling Axes, and just trading hits that way. And he's already won the block, so going to be kind of difficult for Wadafaka, but he has the help of Reeves in the mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like this dueling mid might not be a fun time for Exist. The Wisp does stick around, and, well, bottom lane, Viper isn't really going to need a whole lot of help from the Wisp, so he can feel free to stay mid for the most part. And, well, yeah, so I'm not a huge proponent of the safe lane farming Viper in a tri-lane. In this dual lane, I'm a little bit happier about it. He gets those levels a bit faster. Viper Strike gets up faster. You can have more impact earlier as well. And you'll still get your farm against the Centaur, so I like how they decided to lane this so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's just, I mean, you don't really need a Wisp to help zone out chill. You already have a Viper and a Witch Doctor, so...
There's a lift top. Lots of damage actually coming down into Stallcat. They don't have Elusive Beam quite yet. Luna's still only level 1. We'll hit level 2 here in a second, but no Lucid Beams, so Clockwork gets out just fine. Takes a little bit of harassment, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but he also pulls a lot of experience to the tower, so Clockwork, man, after just playing some offlaners where like you just kind of sit at your tower and hope you don't die, you play Clockwork and you're like, man, this guy gets so much out of the offlane just because cogs are so powerful.
Yeah, and they do have Rubik is one of those heroes that can kind of make cogs not work. If you're able to wait out the cogs and then lift him out of them, it gets a lot harder for the Clockwork to escape, but even considering that, it's like you said, just the mana burn is hard to dodge if you're trying to chase the guy too, so it's an annoying guy. So he should do pretty well in the off lane, because looking at the Tidehunter, he really won't have much of an impact. He does have Gush now, so maybe he could come in and try and help finish that Clockwork off, but it'll be hard.
The other thing too is like it's just so hard to harass a Clockwork out of lane. He sits at 27 strength at level 2. And when he gets a Salt Shield, he just feels so tanky. It's almost like you can't harass him out.
Yep, and he'll get his last hits with Flare too. We'll have to see how he decides to level it, but he's actually heading middle, trying to catch out Exist here, but kind of just chilling here. I don't know. Not really gonna find much there, but I'll just go back top lane.
Yep, absolutely. In the meantime, we should know that Reeves is actually stacking these camps for Shadow Fiend. He's already got a triple stack here and just a single stack over here. Actually missed it, it looks like, but they're gonna be babysitting Wadafaka here, and I think that this is like just the popular way to play Shadow Fiend these days. It's kind of not really go all in on your laning phase, but trade the aggression to make sure that Shadow Fiend has a decent start. And if it's one of those certain players, such as Koikva, speaking of Wadafaka, he gets a Whirling Axis, range harassment, but Reeves is there to help him out.
Yep.
But yeah, here's...
The Centaur took a bit of damage bottom. He has his health, so he's fine. They kind of almost got him under tower with some cast bounces, but not quite going to happen.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Well, anyway, what I was going to say is that like players like Koikva, Arteezy, you'll see a lot of teams just have success by babysitting them and letting them have the good start, and then just kind of let the mid game be their playground with the Shadow Fiend, especially on the Radiant side. And he hits really hard, and a lot of teams that I see have the most success with him kind of take that level 9, level 10 area where he has 36 souls and that 72 extra bonus damage, and there aren't a whole lot of levels on the other team, and just be really aggressive at that point.
Yeah, towers fall really, really fast with that amount of physical damage. Not that many heroes just get that so much tower killing potential from their right clicks that early on like he does, so you can take some early towers before the opponent's really ready to respond. Oh! He finds him. The Wisp bleeds for a second, and well, there's a hasted Clockwork going to try and get a return kill, but he actually just runs into a telekinesis. Lots of damage coming forward here, but we'll catch both heroes in his cogs, but he's so low already, he's going to go down here, and it's a nice idea, but not going to happen. Reeves actually slowed up. We should be able to get out of here just fine. No Fade Bolt for a little bit, so 2 kills, though, and the Exist grabbed both of those, and Rubik grabbed one of them. Rubik grabbed the second one, so really nicely played mid lane.
Yeah, and that's just the aggressive Troll Warlord play coming out from Exist, so he's also got a bottle on the courier. He doesn't even have to leave the lane, and Nier with the very heads-up TP and able to get the return kill on the clock. So if Shadow Fiend decides to go for a Handomize, it's going to be a little bit delayed. He still has these stacks to clear, so he should be able to still get it at a reasonable time.
Yep, and yeah, that Clockwork rotation, actually, you're right about the Rubik rotation. The TP didn't really seem necessary at that point, but I guess they must have seen, they had the Observer Ward top, so they saw the Clockwork running down. And it was really heads-up play from Rubik to TP pretty much instantly and help deal with that Clockwork coming in. Otherwise, Exist would have certainly gone down. So really, really heads-up rotation from that support.
Absolutely. So Stalkite comes back here. He wants to try to get some experience. He's still only sitting at level 3 as he's gone mid twice in 5 minutes. So typically, you usually want your Rubik or your Clockwork to kind of stay around the top lane until they hit about level 7, or at the very least level 6. Just because they can get it so quickly. But Stallcat being a little bit active early and not really getting much for it. And we kind of see that hurting him a little bit right now, as he's the same level as Luna. Or actually being out-leveled by Luna.
Yeah, it's those... Yeah, he doesn't even have like a bottle or anything to warrant his rotating mid. Checking
by the way, bottom lane, Chill,
nice.
he gets cast. There's poison attack as
Troll's
well, but
in.
exists. He's TPing in. He goes into melee form range. I mean, okay. Make up your mind, friend. What kind of axes do you want to use? It looks like you want to use mischance axes and actually just buys another TP. Looks like he'll go back mid.
No, he just wanted to go buy space boots, man. That's the only reason he came over here. It's fine. Anyway, so he'll TP bottom, misses out on some experience, so that's a bit of a problem, and that lets Shadow Fiend catch up just a little bit in this mid lane. Just a little bit of space that he very, very desperately wanted. So he'll have his level 6 here after these creeps, I think. Yep, he will. But Stampede in, going to try and catch him out. Wisp trying to help out with the relocate, but there's a bash. Bash luck already there from Troll, but can he actually finish him off? Does not look like he can quite make this happen. Wants to dive, but one more right click would have done it, but not quite able to find it.
Well, that's power of the Wisp, man. And also, they're going to be using it just to farm the stack already. Oh my god, this stack. Do you see this?
It's a pretty big stack. That Wisp has been busy, man. Like, this is... I mean, Shadow Fiend is just so much stronger on Radiant. It's actually ridiculous how much stronger he is on this side if you have someone like a Wisp who's just dedicated to stacking for you. So he'll get nice and jacked here, and...
I think this might finish off his Hand of Midas, actually. If not, he'll be damn close, maybe like 150 gold away.
It's going to be quite close. There's still a couple of big creeps in there, too, so...
Yeah. He didn't even have to spend money on a bottle. That's the beauty of this Wisp. As the Wisp buys the bottle, and Shadow Fiend gets the Hand of Midas 650 gold earlier. So...
Yep. Yeah, without that death, if he had been able to farm that stack and not died earlier on, he would have had that Midas ridiculously quickly, so... At least he's got that to catch up, and... Well, Troll's going for a dive on the Wisp, but he doesn't take a chance in the world, man. He gets absolutely blown up.
Yeah, that does so much damage as well. Battle Trance is absolutely ridiculous, especially just at these early levels. Same with the Shadow Fiend with the 72 extra bonus damage. But Luna, she's decided in response to this that she's going to go for an early Helm of the Dominator, not picking up a Midas of her own. What do you think about that?
I think Helm of the Dominator's just scree. As we have a Stampede bottom, they're going to try and catch someone out. There is a Gush. Tide is not level 6, so no Ravage.
Eclipse is going to be used.
Oh, that cash completely just disjointed that Eclipse. That was a pretty good toss there from our Witch Doctor. And as far as the Helm of the Dominator goes, I mean, it lets you stack Ancients by yourself. They don't have... I mean, they have supports farming the jungle, not stacking like the Wisp has been, so he does kind of need this to help him stack the Ancients. It'll help him farm the jungle as well. I don't know. I think it's fine. You can go this or Midas, and they seem equally greedy if you go them this early. So I don't know about it before finishing Treads or something, but I have no issue with the Helm of the Dominator.
The only issue is, like, it gets kind of hard to actually farm a big Ancient stack before you get, like, at least 3 levels in Glaives. So, I think, yeah, I don't know. I guess Helm of the Dominator is great, especially if you want to sustain in lane. You can also stack the jungle with it, I guess, and farm that easily, even if you're not stacking Ancients, so it's good.
It's a little bit of armor against the Shadow Fiend, too, so that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, you'll want to get this item eventually, so... Picking it up now a bit early is not the worst thing in the world. I think it's pretty much fine.
They might try to go on clock here. He does not have a ward. He's kind of hiding out in the creeper, but he scouts with the rocket. Another big powerful thing about clock offlane, just always being able to scout. So
it's interesting how he's gone for the max battery assault instead of... I usually go 2-1-2 on this hero just because I like Rocket Flare actually doing some significant amount of damage, and then after that you decide if you want to level up.
By the way, bot tower is denied, near TP'd in, and he had a telekinesis on the Mantis, then Exist comes in as well, throws out the Whirling Axes, both melee and range, and there's a Stomp Mantis. He's going to get double-edged up, but now Wadafaka comes in with Reeves, and they aren't tethered anymore. Raze, one last Raze is going to be able to get Chill, but he has a lot of HP. Fatebolt's going to be going on to Reeves, and now Exist, he's manning up on Shadow Fiend, but Equal came in, he throws out the cast, he's going to be able to finish off Near with the help of the creeps, and now the balls. They're going towards Exist, and now Chill, he gets hook-shotted and cogged in, and he's going to go down as well. So that's a 3-for-1. Good rotations coming out there from X Game.
So so the tower is dead. Well, I mean, so it was denied, you said, or
it was denied.
It was denied. So they lose some heroes. So that kind of sucks, but they do get some time on for Tidehunter to go mid, get some levels towards Ravage. Luna's farming top, so it's not the worst thing, but losing 3 heroes, obviously, you don't want that to happen. But nice rotations from X Game, and yeah, Shadow Fiend get kills. He got at least 1 and an assist or 2, so probably worth it. And if he can get super jacked like that from rotating in and finding kills, then it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think the reason that we saw right there, the reason why Clock was going for the max battery assault is just he knows that he's going to have an okay enough time laning, and he would rather just make sure he gets the full damage off whenever he gets a squishy hero like Luna or Rubik, or even the Centaur. If he's got some friends there, he's going to be doing a lot of damage there.
I'm not completely sold still. I don't know. Rocket Flare is just more reliable damage because like you don't have to be up close to a guy. You can always just spam that, and you get it more often. You get it off more often than not. There we go. Oh, words are hard, but I mean,
it's only 40 damage.
If he finds the picks, it works. It depends on how they want to play the game, and if they're just doing a pick-off strategy, then it's better. But we'll have to see how they play it. Right now, they're just. It may not even matter past this point. If he just gets more levels before they have more big fights or try to take any fights at all, then it won't really matter because he'll have both of them maxed pretty well. So.
Shadow Fiend actually, after the Midas, is actually just going to go straight for BKB. Normally we see something pretty greedy, maybe even like a Crystallis, or even like a Helm of the Dominator, some sort of detour there. Sometimes in rare cases we see actually Boots of Travel picked up. But he's not playing this greedy at all. He's going to go ahead and tank up, unless it's just a casual local club. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the Viper's, as far as right-click damage, Viper's is decent, but it's not brilliant. Shadow Fiend is your damage in these fights, and if he's not alive to use it, then there's no point in having him around. So I think going BKB here as the solo damage dealer really is probably the best choice. Because they don't have, they have Wisp and Witch Doctor. If he gets a ward, that's good. You get damage from that, but that's not reliable. You want the Shadow
Smoke top, hook shot on the Sweater Weather. There's a relocate in as well. Cass catches him in the cogs. This is the incredible synergy we were talking about. Reeves comes in as well. That's going to be a 2-for-0. Actually, never mind. Clockwork ended up going down in the middle of that, but that's what happens when you put yourself in the Thunderdome and exist. He manned up on Viper mid and survives with 13 HP.
Sometimes you gotta be a man, and well, as far that top lane, I think they would have gotten one more kill if the cask hadn't the cask bounced off into the neutral camp instead of staying between the heroes, which was unfortunate. It was like a max range cask random bounce off. So I don't know. That could have gone better, but they still find 2 kills. They do lose the mid lane.
Wow, Nino just right clicks are really good.
Yeah, no, it's like this is why you need, he already has the damage. He doesn't need to go something else other than BKB to contribute in fights from a DPS standpoint. He just needs to be alive to use them. So.
Well, coming out of the laning phase, Clockwork will be going for the Blade Mail first. We didn't see in the last game. Probably would have gotten to survive a little bit. Witch Doctor's got a bit of gold. Maybe he rushes an Aghanim Scepter here or a mobility item. As far as the Viper, he did finish up the mech a while ago after that fight bottom. Going to go for the Ags. And on the side of Goomba, it looks like they have a lot more to go as far as getting their big teamfight items online. Luna has not even started on her BKB. Centaur quite far away from the Blink Dagger, and looks like Exist is going to go for the Sanj and Yasha again, but that means he's going to be delaying his BKB and Helm of the Dominator by an even longer shot as well. And Tidehunter, well, I mean, yeah, he's level 6, but he's not going to have Arc Boots and Blink anytime soon.
Yeah, and with the low BKBs, with the BKBs not on Goomba inordinately fast, when these fights start, and they will come pretty soon with that Viper mech done, like you said, this is a time where they can fight pretty frequently. Once that Shadow Fiend finishes BKB, definitely then, but they're completely relying on this Tidehunter and Centaur to make the space for these heroes with no BKB and get a good initiation, because if these heroes get gone on, by these heroes I mean the Luna and the Troll, they're going to be dead because they don't have BKB if they don't get the jump in the fight. So it's going to be completely up to these initiating heroes to make the difference.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it puts a lot on the clock as well. I mean, he's about to finish the Blade Mail, so he's not going to be too scared to be a jumping initiator. Currently sitting at 0 for 2 and 3, but that's just kind of the score you have as a Clockwork sometimes when you set up a fight and you die, but your team wins the fight anyway. But I think I'm going to be looking for him to try to really make the big plays. Because also, if you just mana burn the Tidehunter once, he's probably not going to be able to Ravage and Anchor Smash, or at the very least Gush as well. Or he can only Ravage, which you can survive through.
And well, Shadow and Wisp have just been pushing this bottom lane by themselves. That's kind of what you do with Wisp. You put them with carry, have them split push the lane, then show up when they need to. And mid lane getting pushed as well. Going to try and take down this tier 1. They're kind of tickling a bit with this Witch Doctor and Viper right clicks, but it's going down steadily here, and I don't know, to see if they try to respond at all. They have gone for the tier 1 top, so they grab that, and well, that might be the time to defend this tier 1 middle. They get it pretty low, but not able to trade against a Luna.
Yeah, absolutely. Luna, obviously, incredible at pushing towers. Just Lunar Blessing is great. She has started leveling up Glaives after the 2 points, pretty standard, but everyone's just really waiting for their key items to come online. Don't really want to take a fight unless the fight presents itself. So that's why we see this a little bit of a passive Sage. But when you're playing passive, Luna and Shadow Fiend are the best at that almost. Well, actually, there's a rocket. Stalcat, he actually comes in. He's trying to get Eclipse off. Oh, but Battery Assault's so good. Relocate coming in, giving the SF the last hit so that Stalcat's score looks even worse. So really good, spotted out by that Radiant Observer ward.
Yep, and that ward was really nicely placed in. Well, Clockwork, like you said, makes an impact there, and delaying that Luna farm is probably the most important thing they can do. Because once you get that BKB, eventually, that's when the fights get a little bit harder because they don't have an easy way to deal with their main damage dealer. And, well, Shadow Fiend's got his done now, so this could be time to go. Because if you go for an early BKB, you want to fight and really take advantage of those big BKBs early on in the timer.
Absolutely. There's going to be a deny attempt here. Oh no, but the Cogs actually push Exist back, so he's not able to get the deny off. And I think this is going to be go time. Clockwork did finish the Blade Mail as well. And also there's a point booster on Mantis and as well as the Witch Doctor. So they don't have their Aghanim Scepters, but they're a lot tankier in these fights. So Shadow Fiend should have the BKB on the way. There it is. And we should look for all of these towers to just go down systematically. Check, check, check.
Yeah, looking at, I mean, okay, well, Chill did just finish his flank, and this is the time when he had to have it, so at least they've got that up. Stampede's ready to go as well. I don't know if they can defend this Tier 1 top, and they actually, well, they definitely can't, but then the Tier 2s, they need to try and stiffen up, but with this Blink Dagger, they actually do have a chance of defending. Blink on Tide as well, so they're getting all their items that they need right now, and, well, let's see if they can get those spells in before the Shadow Fiend gets his BKB off, pretty much, in these upcoming fights.
It's going to be pretty difficult. The other thing, too, is that they don't have a glyph for the next 5 minutes, so it makes it that much harder to defend these towers. Already just Shadow Fiend right-clicking on this tower by himself already gets it down to about 400 HP, or does about 400 HP's worth of damage, and, you know, gonna be a little bit difficult.
Looks like they want to go for the Centaur. Gonna right-click him back a little bit. They were pinging him out, but they only TP 2 heroes down, so not gonna be able to grab him with just these heroes.
Should be just fine. Oh, Clocky goes in on Chill, just relocate coming in as well. Blade Mail going to be used, and that's the power of going Blade Mail first on Clock. You're always going to be able to live through that burst, because they're going to be returning that same to themselves.
Ridiculous. Man, poor Centaur. Yeah, if he gets caught out like that, normally a Centaur you think, oh, he's a tanky hero, he can live through this Battery Assault more than most heroes, but with that Blade Mail on, it just kind of redoubles the damage, and it's like, well,
they're really cutting. They're back onto Luna. He doesn't have a hook, of course, but negative Urn Charge going to be there. Rocket Flare. He's trying to get him in range to get the Cogs, but Luna, she's pretty fast. Oh, now he gets it. Cogs, Battery Assault. There you go. Easiest kill of your life. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Water Pocket, he's being gone on. He uses the Requiem Souls. Hasn't popped his BKB just yet. Switches to Strength, tries to survive, but exists. Throws out both Whirling Axes and Tide. He blinks in. There's going to be a bash, and Troll Warlord gets 450 gold for his head.
Problem with the BKB is that if you get caught out by yourself like that, by a Troll Warlord, it really doesn't matter because he'll just try and bash you. But Viper's coming in, trying to do some damage. Rubik is blown up immediately. Viper Strike onto the Tidehunter as well. Does have Ravage. Really just want to pop it. Will be forced to though. But he's taking so much damage from this Viper Strike. Not quite going to take down the Crosos. Getting very close, but Viper's in the chase. He wants it to blink away.
Well, he's really close to an Aghanim Scepter too. Everyone's going to get a new major item as soon as all these towers go down, which the bottom tier 1 tower did go down. Did it get denied? No, it was not. It was killed by the Radiant. So two more towers left for X Game to add to their wallets, and I think that'll buy an Ag Scepter for the Witch Doctor and buy an Ag Scepter for the Viper, and it'll buy a Force Staff, it looks like, for the Clockwork, which Force Staff really good on Clock. What do you think about that in this circumstance?
I mean, he's trying to catch heroes out, and if you don't go Aghanim, so this item, I don't know, it helps against the Troll Warlord, so it reduces the bashes. It gets you out of the way if a hero gets gone on, like if Shadow Fiend gets bashed by Troll Warlord, you just Force Staff him away. So it's useful for that. Forcing people out of Eclipse range, pretty good as well. So mobility always good, and it'll just help him cog people in if he doesn't have hook up and ready. So if he doesn't go Aghanim Scepter this game, Force Staff's a really good item, but he might still go for it eventually. Just
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good, but we'll see.
Yep. Speaking of hook, he hooks on the Nino and Battery Assault. I mean, he wouldn't be able to get Ravage even if he had it off. Blade Mail is activated as well, but Chill blinked in. Death Ward is going to be taking him down as well. Shadow Fiend activates the BKB, shows it off. Doesn't have the Requiem for 3 seconds. He already has an Eagle Song. Jesus Christ. And not to mention Sweater Weather. He has Eclipse, but he didn't pop it there. And he's only level 11. He actually went for the 4th point in Glaives for the farming build. So he doesn't have a level 2 Eclipse.
I don't know if coming to Tidehunter's defense is really worth it there. I mean, it's not like he had Ravage up or anything, so you didn't really need to protect him. Obviously, if he had Ravage, you would have just popped the damn thing. But I mean, saving him, not really the biggest deal. That might have been a fight they just wanted to wait on and just be like, okay, well, they got that pick off. Let's let them have that. He wouldn't have helped defend the tower either way, but it's a hard decision to make. Cogs once again onto exist, but it might have been off more than they could shoot this time, and he will go down.
Well.
And this might actually... Shadowfiend's pretty low, or at half at least, and see if they can actually chase this down. Luna's pretty fast, but I don't think she's quite fast enough. Yeah,
they can just take this. They have a Troll and a Luna. Two of the best heroes against Roche. Looks like they don't want to do it. Clockwork did buy back, so Stallcat bought back to prevent this Roche, and it looks like Goomba is going to have to back off here. And he thought about the hook. He's going on to chill as well. There's a battery assault as well. Relocate coming in, bringing in Wadafaka. He has directing the souls, but Ravage is there as well. He hasn't popped his BKB. He goes down. Stallcat takes out the Centaur, though. Exists. He gets a kill, and then a Fade Bolt secures another kill, and now Equal. He's okay. He just stood there. I'm not sure exactly what he got with that. And Rubik stole Death Ward.
Yep, and well. That Shadow Fiend, I mean, really nice reactions from the Rubik. Lifted him immediately when the relocate came in, and that's the thing. Blink Shadow Fiend, you can't tell he's coming in, but relocate, you have a nice little warning saying, "Hey, look, Shadow Fiend's gonna be here in about a couple of seconds," and he's like, "All right, well, I'll just lift the guy and then we'll blow him up with the help of the Ravage." So that was really nicely played by the Rubik, who's made a couple of really smart plays this game so far. So he's really helping making these fights manageable because if he gets a BKB off, it's a completely different fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And stealing Death Ward is also huge there. I mean, Witchart was trying to make a play by hiding here, trying to get a cask and getting a Death Ward because he knew I think he was dead if he ran away anyway. So still pretty smart, but Rubik now the next fight, he's about to get a Force Staff as well. So a lot more enabling item for him to make those bigger plays that he's been making all game.
Yep, and well, Roche will go down pretty quickly here, like you said. I mean, the Troll just absolutely goes to town on this. Luna helping out with the Aura as well, so they'll go down in very short order. Really no way for them to respond to this. Clockwork trying to get range for a hook, but he's pretty much by himself down here, so...
He goes for it anyways. There's a relocate in. Oh, he's going to get a cog on everyone. There's a Whirling Axe. There's a Requiem. Oh my god. Wadafaka gets a double kill and Nino has to leave. It was bait and Nino, he threw out the Death Ward before he died. That's why it's called a Death Ward, right? But anyway.
Oh my god, the balls.
Oh my gosh. The relocate Requiem too strong, and that's almost a butterfly for Wadafaka.
That was so much. That was just a ridiculous amount of damage. And well,
who got the Aegis?
Let's see. I don't actually know.
Was it denied?
I don't think so. I mean, they grabbed it before they were like he got them on their way out of the pit, so I'm not actually sure. The Aegis popped, so whoever had it died. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Then I guess Luna got it and died twice or something.
Yeah, I reckon that's true. I don't know. Maybe the Troll had it and then managed to use it away. I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is that they lost that in 3 heroes and just got absolutely blown up. That was an absolute ridiculous amount of burst. Holy baloney.
And now Shadow Fiend, he's got a butterfly on the way. Or no, he's got a Talisman of Evasion, so he'll be able to pick up the quarterstaff at the side shop in now. It's going to be pretty difficult to defend high ground. At least they have the cooldowns to work with, so the Requiem of Souls is going to be there, but they really need to execute this team fight. They have Eclipse in a second. There's a Blink Ravage going to be coming in. Nino going for the Wisp right away. Wadafaka, he doesn't have his BKB up. He pops it now, and there he goes. He's trying to get away, but Viper fighting in the meantime in the back fight. He's going to town on Rubik, who's caught in the Cogs. Troll Warlord is there as well. And the backside, the Death Requiem does manage to get a kill. There's a buyback coming in from Exist. Nino being chased by Reeves and Stallcat as well as Equal, but Reeves has to go back home because of the relocate. There's a blink. The Rocket Flare scouts him out, but there's no hook to cancel that TP. And Exist, he comes back, but the tower is still going to go down.
Clockwork. I mentioned a long time ago that it's, as far as like making space, like when they initiate, you just kind of screwed up with Cogs. They went that Ravage, and then he hooked in immediately onto, I don't know which hero, but then he cogged off a half-health Shadow Fiend from the rest of the heroes that were on the other side of the Tier 2 tower. The ones would have tried to kill the Shadow Fiend, and there's just no way they could get to him, so Clockwork saves his life. He eventually died at the backside, but they had to chase him down, and in the meantime, a Death Ward went completely ham on the backlines and killed 2 or 3 heroes, so it was really nicely played by the Clockwork again. So he's been making the plays. He died a couple times being really aggressive, but that's just kind of what happens with Clockwork, because you have to take the risk to make the plays with this hero, and, well, he's come out on top more times than not.
Having an even kills to deaths as Clockwork is a monument on its own. Just Because most of the time, more often than not, you hook and then die. By the way, Mantis, he goes to man up on Nino, but I don't know if it's a bait or not. Exist, he's coming up. They pop the Centaur ulti as well. Viper Strike onto Exist. There's going to be a bash for sure. Whirling Axis is there, but no! Skullcat, he hooks in and forces out Viper, but it's still not enough with the range jack still connecting. He gets the return kill on the Nino, and now Exist. He has to back off as well. So really, God, the plays coming out from Skullcat this game are...
Yeah, I thought he had the save. I guess I'm trying to think like, I don't know, what damage hit him after that, but...
The last ranged Whirling Axe hit. Or sorry, not ranged Whirling Axe, but just a ranged attack from Troll
it was really close, and if he had managed to land the Troll in that Cogs too, that would have been even better, but certainly going to take the Tidehunter as a worthy sacrifice, but, well, look at how this thing stands. Take a look at the graphs. The net worth is now ridiculously in X Games' favor, and yeah, up to 14,000 gold lead. XP lead not quite as significant, but the gold lead is just absolutely out of hand. And mostly it's the towers. I mean, well, it's definitely...
It's the towers and also the fact that you have a Shadow Fiend who's already good at farming, and Wisp just...
Yeah.
He's just an enabler in every way. He allows you to be stronger in the fights. He allows you to farm and fight efficiently without having the travel time. And when you exacerbate Wadafaka's farm rate on a hero that's already good at farming with both a Wisp and a Hand of Midas, it's just going to get absolutely out of control, which we already see. He's almost doubling the net worth of the Luna.
Our Wisp is going BKB.
That's probably Halberd. Oh. It's going BKB.
I don't know. Does that even, like, work? I don't know how Tether works if you're BKB. I have no idea, man. I don't think I've seen a Wisp BKB in...
I don't think I've ever seen a... I mean, I guess they just want to make Tidehunter useless, basically.
I guess.
And Eclipse as well. I mean, if they don't take any damage from Eclipse or Ravage, what damage is there in a fight? Luna hasn't built a damage item. She has a Yasha and Treads. That's her damage. But meanwhile, Shadow Fiend is...
So poor.
Shadow Fiend's building up to that invincible late game where he has Evasion from Butterfly and he has Satanic. Like, Butterfly, Satanic, BKB, it's so hard to kill a Shadow Fiend that has those three items.
Yep, he has a Helmet Dominator done. It's like, it's on the courier. He needs to fly it out to him at some point, so... Yeah, he's definitely got that going for him. Even the lifesteal that provides by itself will give him a lot of sustain in these fights and let him right-click his way back up to health. The Satanic, obviously, is even better, but this will also just help give him staying power in the next couple of fights. And they do want to probably try and press their advantage. You want to let Luna get too fat, but... I don't know, they also probably, with the advantage they have, they could just stall out and if they farm evenly, they'll probably win in the late game as well, but we'll see how quickly they play it. It's mid-tier 1, gonna actually get flipped up, and they'll be forced to back off, but...
I think, I mean, well, Mantis just finished his BKB. They could wait for Skullcat to finish his Ags. He's 1,200 away. And I guess at the farm rate, that would also coincide with Wadafaka finishing up his Butterfly, or his Satanic, so I guess they'll probably wait for those two items.
Yep, I mean, they're getting more to the map right now. I wish they had some more wards, perhaps, in the enemy jungle, but there's sentries around too, so it's not like that the Dire is completely unaware of any warding that would happen, so they would deward it pretty quickly. But yeah, starving their farm would be really nice. If they can keep pressure on and keep trying to find kills with this clockwork, I think that'd be pretty good as well. But as it stands, if they just maintain an even plateau with how fast the Shadow Fiend's been farming, they will probably be fine as well. But they're looking for maybe kills in this bottom lane, but they're not going to find Centaur. Or maybe... Huh?
Pretty interesting. I mean, I guess they didn't have a ward, but they just kind of knew that no one was off the map. And look at all the freaking sentry wards they've invested in their jungle. 1, 2, 3...
we start from the clockwork. One of the first mistakes we've seen in this game from him. Viper Strike, not too great against Stampede, but they might still just finish this guy off. The damage actually from this Viper's actually gotten decently substantial. And they will actually clean up that Centaur pretty easily after biffing it just a bit. But gotta try and push high ground now with this.
This tower just melts.
Yeah.
He's the only one clicking on it, too. Like, he's just an overcharged hero. He pops his BKB right away, though. I don't know if he needs to do that, but I guess they have to fight under these BKBs or their racks go down. Oh, never mind. They have a glyph, so that's nice. Well, Skullcat, he's going to be telekinesed and pushed forward. They're actually going to have to back off because their BKBs are on cooldown.
That was a really smart play from Tidehunter, just blinking in and then just pump faking. And they had to BKB in case it was Ravage, but he's basically just pump faking Anchor Smash and then nothing happened. So they saved the racks for now. I mean, obviously, if they come back later, it's going to be in a bit of a bad spot, especially since Glyph's down for the next 5 minutes. But well, we'll see if they can make any sort of play out on the map right now. Eclipse, was that an Eclipse that did nothing?
Wait, what? Really?
She popped Eclipse.
Missed
he was trying to kill Wisp, and he just left. I don't know. I mean, she definitely used it. I don't know. I
don't know about that, man.
That's their kind of game, I guess. But they'll farm this Ancient stack with all 5 of their heroes, because why not? She's working on a Manta style, which, I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't know if that's the item that's going to really help them save this game. I think she just needs more...
What else do you get? Do you rush an MKB?
I don't know. There's really nothing... She's just in a bad spot. Normally you want this Manta style a long time ago, and then you're building a bigger damage item now to deal with this Shadow Fiend, but they're just not going to have it. That's just the position they're in. They just... I don't know.
It's a position they're in that at 30 minutes they're having to 5-man the bottom tier 1 tower in the safe lane.
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, you want to be going like you want to be working towards and even be done with maybe like a butterfly or one of its major components at this point on a Luna or something along those lines. But she's not had the most fun game. It's just hard to find the farm, and she's also having to share it with the troll too, who wants items not quite as bad as Luna, but I don't know. She needs it. Ty needed blink. Centaur needed blink. All these heroes needed farm. They needed a place to get their items to be able to fight, but then they still really couldn't win the fights even after getting those items, so this Luna's the one who really suffers for it.
Well, as mentioned before, it looks like Stallcat will finish up his Aghanims right at the same time that Shadow Fiend Wadafaka will finish up his Satanic. And we are now seeing a Blink Doctor. What do you think about Blink on Witch Doctor? Something we haven't really seen too much, except just in the recent games where people are remembering that he's good. Also, top lane, never mind. Wadafaka, he gets initiated on, but he has the Wisp to relocate him out. Is he just going to sacrifice himself? Reeves, are you gone, friend?
They have no other way to really... I think he has to just give himself up.
They're going to go for it, I think.
Is he really bringing this back?
He's bringing him back. He has a BKB Requiem. Stampede is going to be used, and they're going to be going on the Sweater Weather, but Reeves is going to burst it down. Now it's a... Rubik stole the Requiem. He throws it out, but he's still going to go down. So
I mean, why risk that?
I don't know, man.
I mean, he thought that, like, if they don't have Stampede, I think that goes way better for them, because they TP and then the Requiem actually catches all those heroes pretty solidly, but Centaur saw that Shadow Fiend was there, just popped Stampede immediately, they all just bolted away, took not a ton of damage from the Requiem of Souls, and then he just couldn't finish heroes off, and it's just an unnecessary risk, in my opinion. And, well, Roche is up too, so this is a great timing for Goomba. I mean, this is their one way back in with a mistake like that, I think.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate timing. Also, Luna did finish the Manta style. I guess the best thing that kind of gives you is more bounces for the Death Ward, so less on your team, and I guess you can also Manta off the Viper Strike, but other than that, it's still a good item for Luna. I think you should get it most games.
It's one you want to get, but she just wishes she had more. I mean, I don't know if skipping and finishing the Manta is better, per se. Maybe going for a Butterfly before it. I don't know. Finishing the item is nice. I think it's fine. It just hurts my soul to see a so poorly farmed Luna, but, well, we'll see how it turns out, I guess.
Yeah, and Exist will be the one going for the MKB, so it looks like Luna's going to be able to go straight for the Butterfly. So
she'll want to get an MKB eventually, too, though. The problem, I don't know, but that's further down the line, I guess. I don't know. You want more attack speed, too, but she's just in a bad spot. I mean, I can hit that dead horse repeatedly with a stick, but...
Well, I mean, if Troll has the MKB, you could also just go for, like, an Assault Cuirass, which helps your damage and attack speed very well on Luna as well. Also, just because of the glaives, it actually is a lot of damage. So.
Is under attack.
That's just the hero you want to kill, so they need to make sure they kill it. Troll's damage is good, don't get me wrong, but Luna's is just a bit more... I don't know, she'll be the hero that you want carrying in the late game, not this Troll, but... I don't know, we'll see at the end of the day. They're going to try and push this top tower area again with the Shadow Fiend Wisp, and also they don't get caught out again, because that's the one thing that really... If they get killed again, they're still really far ahead, don't get me wrong. After that, I mean, they're still over 10k ahead in gold, but if they lose the Shadow Fiend again, that's a problem.
Yeah, going to be a big problem, because a lot of his net worth is, like, it's great. By the way, Hook, going to be in the mid lane. Stallcat, he goes on to Chill. Buddy gets telekinesis right away. He gets thrown out of the Cause. Blade Mail going to be activated as well. Chill, he pops the pipe, but there's the Requiem to relocate in from the Wisp as well as Wadafaka. They take down Chill. Looks like they're going to back off, but Clockwork has a hook again. He cancels the TP right after the BKB. Cogs him off, doesn't cog him in as well. So now Exist does have to run away. He's really fast with that phase in Sanjin Yasha, so I don't think they're going to catch him.
Blind hook? Oh, he doesn't need to do a blind. He has the vision. Let's see if he actually finds this hook. Nope. Nice juke from Exist. Nice presence of mind and go up into the secret shop a little bit, but still on the run in this merry way. But
it's pretty clowny, man.
The way he's running, he might be able to actually get away from this Shadow Fiend doesn't want to be locked on. He can just right-click the guy and be like, oh, well, maybe not. And another hook once again. Nice force step immediately, though, on the Tidehunter to get him out of it, but he might go down regardless here. Does have a Ravage if he wants to pop before going down, but he's not going to bother with that.
He knows his respawn time is pretty low, so he wants to
hook,
have it for the fight. But never mind, Sweater Weather, you're going to get hooked. He pops a Mantisile to try to ward him away, and the Whirling Axis is there as well. But Rubik manages to steal hook. He's going to be using it on Mantis right after the BKB. Luna's going to be able to BKB TP out because of that now near. He doesn't have his Force Staff for a while. There's another hook on to Exist. Okay, he's almost out of mana. He pops the Blade Mail. It looks like they're going to be diving base for this. Oh no, they're like, oh yeah, there's a tower here.
Dire's middle tower is under
This Rubik
attack.
is like keeping this team in the game. He's done it multiple times. Like, his play has been really, really good, and I don't know, haven't been able to really make up anything off of it other than just being not dead, unfortunately. But that's just how jacked the Shadow Fiend is. He has that Satanic done, like you said, and 2.6k in the bank, so he's gonna have another big item here very soon. Could go for an MKB himself, assuming the Luna might one day get that butterfly. But they're just gonna go for this Rax, and there
They
is a
smoke
glitch.
gank the Rex.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I just don't know if they can actually clean this up. They have Ravage up in 2 seconds. Tidehunter's respawning.
They have an Aegis as well. They have an Aegis on Troll. They're fighting into one. And Exists. He takes a few right clicks, goes down. There's going to be the Stampede. Blink hooks up onto 2 double edges as well. Requiem Soul's coming up. The BKB was activated before the Ravage, and now he's trying to right click, but 2 of his teammates are already down. Tidehunter goes down, and Rubik as well, but those are only the supports. Everyone is so low. Ultra kill, though, for Equal with the Aghanim's Death Ward. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at it go, pretty much. And
Look
while they
at
do
it
lose,
go. Exists. He has his Aegis, so he's back up. The relocate brings Witch Doctor back home. Now, is this going to be Dota Cinema top plays with that Wisp and Witch Doctor that got the team wipe? Let's see if they can kill Exist here. They're going to be going for it. There's a pass.
try, but he's in PKP, so I don't know if that's
Get some
gonna
bashes. Come on, bash. Bash. Oh, run away.
yeah, and I mean, that fight, if there's no Aegis,
Dire's
obviously it's
top
a
tower
win,
is
but
under attack.
the Aegis basically just kept him alive now, so it's been a team wipe, but then only the Witch Doctor and the Wisp would have been alive. So these fights are still really close. The Tide didn't catch Shadow Fiend with the Ravage, but he got everybody else. Centaur did his job there as well, helping clean up some kills. If they just find that Witch Doctor a bit earlier, then I think they're in pretty good shape. They just couldn't cancel that ult.
Dire's top tower
It's
is
pretty
under
difficult
attack.
because you kind of have to just focus everyone on X game. There's not really a hero you can ignore. Like, for example, after the Ravage comes, you can kind of ignore the Tide. After the damage and burst from the Centaur, you can kind of ignore that as well. It's kind of same with the Rubik, and he's going to be standing back anyway, trying to look to steal something like Hook or Death Ward or Requiem. But you can't really ignore anyone on the side of X game. Maybe you can ignore Reeves, but you also want to burst him down because he's going to be like, that's just a strategy against Wisp. Is you don't burst down the hero he's buffing, you burst him down instead. So we see that definitely come to fruition in these fights.
And, I mean, if this Troll can keep this team in the game for long enough that this Luna actually has items, because this Shadow Fiend, looking at him, he gets one more item. Oh, sorry, he can get 2 more items since it's travel. Never mind. So he still has a lot of room to grow. But, I mean, this Luna still does absolutely nothing. If this gets to a point where Luna can actually contribute in a fight with how they've been going, this game could turn completely differently. They just need to get through this phase of the game. If they can keep this Rax intact bottom for, I don't know, another 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know. This Troll's doing a lot of damage.
I think that Troll and Luna are going to outcarry Shadow Fiend and a Viper for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that Clockwork is going to be a lot more of a factor than Centaur.
I don't know. I mean, the Centaur is the guy he basically needs to start just killing this Witch Doctor, I think, and that's going to be probably his goal. I mean, obviously, kill Shadow Fiend if you can, but the BKB, it's going to be hard for you. Just try and kill that squishy target, and the Witch Doctor doesn't have the BKB. He might be working towards one at this point. He's actually gotten a gem, but I reckon BKB might be his next big item. Just tell him to get that ult off pretty much forever. But if Centaur can just kill him off, that's a lot of damage that's being left on the table in the ultimate. So we'll see if they can actually pick that target off. So I don't know. It's going to be pretty close. I am not sure, but I mean, right now, the Shadow Fiend's just so super jacked. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he should be 10-6 though for like how jacked he is, you know?
No, he's made some silly mistakes. Like, I mean, that going back top lane was that one thing where they just relocated and back in and died for. They should just let the Wisp go. That was silly, and I don't know. They've made some mistakes letting this slip through their fingers, but also some really good fights taken by Goomba. Just they had to be perfect, and they have been in these Rax defenses. I would say they've been playing it really smartly.
And we didn't really mention this too much, but the Ghost Scepter on the Wisp is actually doing a lot of work. because a lot of the times you see Wisp against Luna just kind of die to only the glaives. But the Ghost Scepter's making sure that he actually stays alive during these fights as well, and it gets himself in a good position. So I think more than anything else, the item choices from X Game have just been really, really smart, and they've just really... each time they've gotten a new item, they've gone and they've done something with it. So
yeah, they just need to finish this. They just need to finish this Rax off. I mean, before even killing one Rax against this Luna Troll team may not be enough. It certainly limits the farm potential, because that lane is just basically half as much gold as it would have been. But losing one Rax is not the end of the world here either. So I'm curious to see how hard they try to defend this. Next, Roshan probably going to be a point of contention as well. It's about to be in that time when it can start respawning in a couple of seconds here, and both teams they need this so badly. Like X Game, I feel need it to push, and Goomba would love to have this. They basically just don't want X Game to have it, I think, and it's up.
Yeah, big items coming out as well. Crit Stick is out for Shadow Fiend, so he's going to be going for the Daedalus, so he'll be able to get a little bit more damage, while Viper's going to get the True Strike, so he's finished up the MKB. To allow the Shadow Fiend to hit a little bit harder, because the raw DPS coming out from a Daedalus is obviously a bit higher just with the crit chance. So we'll see if they check Roshan here as they're farming the Ancients. There is that dire side advantage, and they're looking to D-ward as well, so they know that it could be up. It's about that time, but still, it's an Aghanim's Clockwork, and he's going to be able to Rocket Flare. Now they know that it's up, so fight is going to be breaking out here pretty soon.
Yep, Troll through the Axis in, so he knows it's up too. So they both know. And, I mean, both teams want this so badly. This is the first Cheese Aegis, or Cheese Roche as well, so it's something they desperately want to grab it. They'll have to play very, very carefully. Both these teams, if they get the right initiation in the close quarters of the pit, they can do absolute work. If Clockwork finds a good hook and gets some cogs in, raises on top of that, just that burst damage that they have, they win the fight. But if there's a really good Ravage in the pit, then Goomba would take the fight just as easily.
I think the Death Ward is more scary than the Ravage in the pit, to be totally frank about it.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, they go into the pit and they smoke up. They're trying to bait. Going up towards the Ancients. They did by equal here. They do have this Observer Ward. They spot exists, and they actually just hooks past him to creeps. Force-taps himself back. There's some DKB in the Blade Mail, but the cogs are going to cut him off. But Stalkai, he went down. The Battle Trance was used. In the meantime, in the backside of the fight, Chill, he gets picked off, so both offlaners go down. Stalkai, he buys back in. He's TPing in as well. And now is there a buyback on Centaur? No, smoke is popped, but they just find Mantis. They're like, oh, hey, he's here, but Requiem of Soul is going to be channeled, going to be on to Next. He actually stole the cogs, but Death Ward is there. Death Ward doing absolute work. DKB pops by Sweater Weather, and Wadafaki pops the Satanic, and now he's stealing all the life back, and Equal gets a triple kill. This Death Ward is doing absolute work against Goomba right now. Troll buys back, but this is a Roche if not more. This is also a full Daedalus on the Shadow Fiend. They actually relocate on to exist. Reeves is there, but Tidehunter blinks in. He blinks and Ravages. Knows that they have no BKB. There's a buyback from Luna. She has Eclipse, I believe. I don't know. But Reeves has to go back to beat. The TP's actually canceled. She does not have Eclipse. They're backing off. They're going to concede this Rax.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yep, and I mean, it's like I said, one Rax down, not the worst thing in the world for them, but the problem is they could, well, they probably can't go for 2 here. They should just back it up, but maybe go for Roche or something like that. But that cask was just, I mean, when you don't fight your creeps and you have 3 heroes clustered with a cask bouncing between them, you're just screwed, man. And that's a lot of disabled that you just can't do anything about. And the Witch Doctor just doing complete work there. And
he's 12-2, man.
They need to kill this guy. They're not respecting him at all, and it's the squishiest hero on their team now with the way the Wisp is built. Just Centaur needs to find this hero early on, but a fight did start out a bit kind of screwy, and it wasn't really in a, I don't know, because like that hook went in a weird spot. Clockwork just died immediately, bought back, and then they were fighting around that like cluster of trees, so it was just a bit chaotic. And well, X Game comes out on top, and I mean the Witch Doctor plays, the cask plays too strong.
Well, Daedalus now purchased from Shadow Fiend. He's just going to be looking to get probably Boots Travel. He is level 25, so he can go ahead and sell that Hand of Money. And probably get the Boots of Travel as well and still have the attack speed from the Treads if he really wants that, or whatever. The world is really his oyster, but he's kind of done. The Troll and Luna still have a lot of room to grow. Luna's going to be going for that Butterfly, as aforementioned, so I'm still kind of scared if, like, say, Goomba does get the fight off they want. Just with the double Ravage, with the Centaur and the Eclipse. It can be a lot if they catch them without their BKBs, but not going to be that easy whenever the Aegis goes down so quickly.
Yeah, and that, I mean, when tied out a Ravage bottom lane, that Blink Ravage in when they were trying to defend the Rash with like 2 heroes left, that was probably not their best decision, because it basically meant that they couldn't fight a Roshan fight at all without Ravage, so bit of a miscalculation there. Maybe thought he could do a bit more than he could have, but he just Blink Ravaged into 4 heroes by himself, Anchor Smash, and then left, and then that was it. So, I don't know, not the best usage of it. Maybe he thought that he had more teammate support, not sure, but at the end of the day, it basically gives him a free Roche on the side of X Game.
I personally think Ravage is actually pretty overrated as far as just a team fight ability. I don't really think it's that good. Like, it's only 450 damage. Like, yeah, it's a nice stun and like a huge radius, and that's the best part about it, is that he's a tanky initiator, and you stun like almost everyone. It's kind of like a Warlock ultimate, but still, like,
you need to use the first, like, when you hit like at time like level 6, like right when you get level 6, right when you get level 11, you need to like win a bunch of fights, but they were losing fights at that point in time to X Games. So, I mean, if the first ones don't go your way, they start getting the BKBs, and it becomes harder to land a good one and make the impact. You just need to use it to get a lot of early fight wins, to get a huge lead, so that the other team can't get BKBs, so they can't actually tank up and be able to live through your Ravage and the immediate follow-up. And there's no, like, the Luna damage, if that was better as well, I don't know, they get more off during the Ravage, but they just don't have the follow-up for it. The spell is fine, you just need to make a better use of it early on and win the fights when you actually have the ability to do so.
Yep. Another crucial item going to be coming out, Stallcat is finally going for his own BKB. So during these fights where he kind of just throws the cogs, puts on the blade mail, and gets stun locked and dies, well, it's not really going to be happening anymore, so he's going to be a more of a liability. And Witch Doctor, he does have his own BKB as well, so BKB galore, and now Tidehunter feels pretty useless. Eclipse is pretty useless as well. Like, what can Goomba really do? Like, barring just
it's hard.
moving.
They needed to win like the last couple of fights. Like, that was if they made those, then they're back in this game. But just losing those fights, losing the Aegis, they can't fight into Aegis right now. Pretty much, just straight out, there's no way.
Double NKB going to be coming out as full damage going to be coming out from Wadafaka. He did purchase he could go Divine if he really wanted to throw the game, but still.
He'll be just fine with an MKB. He doesn't care, man. He does so much damage. Blink Ravage, gonna find only 3 heroes, but Clips the Fall, they actually kill Shadow Fiend immediately. No Aegis on him. And, well, Witch Doctor will go into town, though, but they'll actually clean him up this time. And
well, buybacks galore coming in. Reeves relocated in with Wadafaka as well. They're going to try to turn this fight as well. Going on to chill immediately on the backside of the fight. We see Luna being chased down by Mantis. Whirling Axis from Exist going to be doing it, but there's going to be the Viper Strike. He's going to be able to kill him. You're not going to stand a chance one-on-one even with the tower, and Wadafaka is going to be able to secure this fight with a buyback. There's no buybacks on the side of Goomba,
yeah, I mean,
and this will be
that
Rax,
fight went as well as they could have, but buyback's just it's a pretty strong ability, and they're just going to lose Rax because of it. So, like, how close that fight was, if they just had more farm, had not given up those last couple of fights, if they find a pretty good Ravage like that, they blow up the shotgun immediately, things go a lot better for them. They just couldn't find those fights. I mean, they put themselves in a bad spot. They played a really scrappy game, keeping themselves in it, keeping their Rax barely alive, and stopping the high ground pushes, grabbing Roche and things like that, but just one mistake when you're that far behind, you just lose Rax, and then things become a lot harder. So, a nice effort, but not able to pull back in this game as Goomba. And a well-played win to X Game.
Yep. So we're going to be going ahead and hopping into Game 2. This is a 2-game series for the round-robin standings, so we'll waste no time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.